still hear me? You want me to keep talking?
Yeah, we're live.
We're live? We're actually live? Is everybody alive?
Yes.
We're live. Are we done, Mason?
We are done.
Over?
Enjoy the show.
That's it? Let's hear from Mason.
He's on the phone.
How about Mason? What a joy to be here. I came back here, it's like when when'd you open, 6, 7, 8 years ago, this place? Did a show that long ago. And since then I've made at least 2 more balls, so I'm learning how to make balls now. I've done this for 35 years and I get paid for missing, basically like the Globetrotters in basketball if you've never seen it before. So when I miss, it's all on purpose. I want you to know that ahead of time. Because without the purposeful miss, I can't do the jokes. And if they're not funny, I laugh anyway. Okay, so just follow along. Now this guy hasn't seen this before, so he's going to laugh. So if he follows, he starts laughing, you just follow along, okay? Because a lot of people don't think I'm funny anymore, not even my wife. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll do some really cool stuff today. I want to first of all show you something that, I noticed this table is playing awesome. There's some magnetic pockets. I'm just going to start with some really simple stuff. You get a shot like this, you want to make the 8, so you go like that, you just make the 8 ball. It's a simple shot. And most people know that shot. Some people don't see it in fast, so I'll slow it down so you can see it in slow motion.
I see it.
Now you can see it, just like that. Okay? That's it. But if you do it fast, you have to be careful. You might get away with it, see? So it's be careful. So there's other shots that are illegal. We call it cheating, but I call it entertainment. So what you're seeing is you don't tell the Globetrotters when they're cheating that they're cheating. You say they're entertaining. That's why people keep paying $50 a ticket to see them. They just don't pay me anything. So what we're going to do, we're going to show you some illegal shots that are fun to watch. The little 1-ball push shots like this. The 2-ball push shots like this. These are all the simple shots that were created years ago, okay? Here's an amazing shot. This is a 7-ball push shot. A little bit different 7-ball push shot, okay? Here's another one. Somebody follow along. Those are pretty good jokes. This is how I explain these plays, okay? Here's it. You're playing 9-ball for the World Championship. You get this. You want to make the 9, so you just kind of make the 9-ball. Or let's assume you want to make the ball like that. You go like this, make it this way. If you want to say you want to really make it that way. Let's assume that you want to really get it legal, you do it this way, that's fun, okay? This is why people pay all this money for their cue sticks, and they use the tip. See, I don't do that. I use every part of my cue. Let me make sure I understand that. If you're a comedian on the table, and you don't want to walk, this is called side stick English, okay? Y'all got it? If you're a comedian, this is called slapstick English, okay? If you're funny, they laugh. This is called bank stick English like this, okay? There's a lot of shots. So you should be taking notes because you might need this in a game sometime. There's a lot of really cool shots. For example, you say, well, I want to learn some skill shots. Well, I don't do those, so let's move on. We're going to go to the next one now. These jokes are coming out very fast, okay? So let's move down to the movies, okay? We'll go to the movies, okay? You remember the movies. In 1961, what was the movie?
Hustler.
The Hustler. Okay, let's just go through a little trivia contest. We all know who played Fast Eddie. Paul Newman. And we know who played Minnesota Fast. And we know who played Clint Good Little Hopper. Clint Good Little Hopper. Nobody knows who played Clint Good Little Hopper. Red Skelton. See, that was the double jeopardy that nobody got in the movie because it wasn't in the movie. That was the final Jeopardy question. That was from Red Skelton played Clint Good Little Hopper. If you didn't get that, we just asked the gentleman over here, okay? Now, so in that movie in 1961, one of the greatest, it was 15 million pool players in the world, basically that played pool, that were known. And after the movie came out, within 2 years, there was 40 million. So it was an amazing movie. It jump-started the whole billiard industry, that movie. And then 26 years later, 25, The Color Money came out, and it was a good movie, but it never really jump-started like it did from the Hustler. So when Newman was in the movie, he was doing this shot that was kind of interesting. It was the Hustler bank where he made it back here, and he went up like this, and he shot the ball. But it wasn't really from this side. He was actually, if you look at the movie, he was shooting where he had to really stretch across the table. And most people didn't catch that, including me, so I shot it this way my whole life, where I could just kind of lean over and do it with a level cue, but everybody else was doing it over here, where they had to raise your cue, which I didn't realize later in ESPN events. I use that to my advantage. I'll explain that in a little bit. So here's an example of a situation when Newman was shooting this shot, and then as time went on, Newman came out with another company. Remember the salad dressing company? Yeah. Newman's Own, remember that? And in that, there was it's still going strong. Well, Newman created this dressing company, so we had to dress this up a little bit, so now we do the Hustler Banquet dressing, where you have these balls on the sides of the balls like this. So if you're playing the game, somebody breaks and leaves you this, you should probably play somebody else. So, because they're playing the wrong kind of person there, okay? They got too much control. So here you got the solids on one side, you got the solids on the other side. Now, a lot of people think I'm kind of losing it because, you know, but they are solid if you look at it, they're solid. And actually, you got stripes on stripes under because they're all striped, because that's a small stripe and that's a big stripe. So that when you're playing 8-ball, you can shoot either one and still be okay. So just remember that, just have your play. So just remember I didn't give you that rule. So here's the shot. This is the rule, this is the shot, the hustler banquet dressing. And then when you really want to get into it, a lot of people like extra dressing on themselves. If you put these in champagne glasses up in the air, you can visualize that. Then you do it with the hustler banquet with extra dressing. So it's an awesome shot, high degree skill shot, scale of 1 to 10, it's a 35. The idea of this shot is to make the 8 back here with the cue ball getting out of the way. So we're going to do it this way. Watch this 8-ball come back, watch the cue ball get out of the way like this. Awesome shot like this. Let's do it one more time in case you missed it. This is an awesome shot. A lot of people miss it the first time, so I want to make sure if it's getting ready to go in pretty much like that, and some people are missing it because they're behind me. I'll pick it up and do it over so you can see it now. So get a good view. Okay, you got it now? Okay, I don't want anybody to miss any shots. So get it just like this. Okay. You see this? Did you get it that time? Did you get it? Okay, everybody got it that time. Okay, now the next thing. And you heard that, right? You just heard what I heard. Now, if I had made that first time, it would have been nothing. But I have to miss it once just to get that. So that's part of the process. Now next, 1986 was the color money. And in the color money, there was a movie shot like this, you know, where now, Gleason was gone. They weren't playing the straight pool anymore. That was from the 60s. They were going to the game of 9-ball. And in 9-ball, there were a lot of shots that came up, and there was a new kid on the block in the movie. Who was the new kid?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. And what was his character name?
Vincent.
Vincent. Who played Clint the Littlehopper?
Vince Kelly.
Good, we had one person pay attention to the first stroke. Okay, so here we go. So in this movie, this shot came up, and they didn't want to shoot that way, maybe illegally push it for some reason, even though it would be a continuous motion stroke shot in most cases. So they turned around like this, and they shot like this, down the corner. They went like this, and they went and made it that way. That was the basic shot they made in the movie. But in ESPN days, you couldn't shoot something that simple. They wouldn't allow the really simple stuff. It had to be fairly hard, but you had to prove you could make it 80% of the time. So obviously I didn't have any shots I could show them. So this was an example of where I shot this ball and I made it harder. So I took the color money kickback shot and shot this 5 cushions like this around the table like this. And as it came around, I hit this with perfect timing while I'm looking at this, and the one goes down in combinations this in the corner pocket while this is moving, which sounds like a really simple shot, but it's much more complicated than it looks. So we'll try this a couple times. Just an awesome shot, just like it. Awesome shot, just like this. Let's see what happens. Let's see if we can pull this ball. Just like. Look at this. First time shot. Okay. Well, I never make that one. Now let's go on to the next shot. Isn't that a cool shot, man? Now there's other 9-ball shots you can get into in this game. You know, some players get played 9-ball and they don't know what to do in some situations. 8-8 race to the 9. This shot comes up like this. Intercontinental World Interstellar Championship, Galactic Championship. And here's your shot like that. Now what would you do? You're for the 9-ball players, what would you do in this? This is a really 8-8 race to 9. So what would you do here?
Oh, I have no idea what you do.
Anybody play 9-ball here? No, it all of a sudden got really quiet.
Bank it off the rail and kick the 9 in.
Do what? What was that?
Bank the 1 off the rail and kick the 9.
Well, you could, but see, the 8's in the way. That's a great idea, but
It's just English.
well, you can't. No, I don't know. So, I'll be back in a second, okay? There's 2 options. One option, of course, is to shoot the safety like this. Most players will play the safe. They just leave the cue ball, they out in the middle of the rail, and they leave, and then let your opponent shoot. But that's not necessarily the best shot. The best shot, since you not have to worry about the force, just make the 9. Just go for the 9. You got a dead shot here, but the 9-ball is really the key shot here. This is called the snap, crackle, pop, jump, nip, draw. The cue ball hits the 1, comes up around, and kicks back in the pocket like this. So again, this is another high degree skill shot that I made one time in my life. So enjoy this now. Watch this 9-ball come back into the pocket. Awesome shot, watch this. That's not it. Oh, I get to shoot again. Well, thank you. Yes, I didn't expect that. Let's go on to this. Yeah, that's what they say. You can shoot again to make a ball. Let's do it one more time. I got a little bit too much of a cut. You want to hit this like 99.9% pure. No real cutting, and it'll just sneak right around us like this. Watch this beautiful shot. There it is, just like that. That's how it works. Yeah, and by the way, if you scratch on the trick shots, we never count scratches. Now the next thing, okay? And we don't. We never count scratches. In fact, they used to give us an extra point if you scratched and called a scratch. which was cool. They were called in-offs, is what they called them, like when they play English billiards and stuff. There's another shot that comes up in 9-1. I'm going to need probably some people to come up here and try this. Some of the best. Who's the best players in the room here, Mason? Is there any? Who's the best player? Anybody? The best player in the room? I have a request. If you maybe, because if the best player doesn't shoot, what would you do? What would you do if you had this shot right here for the World Intercontinental Championship, 8-8 race to 9, cue ball like this? What would be your shot? Draw back. Would anybody like to try that back? I'll give anybody in the room 10 tries to draw back.
And make the 9?
It's up to you, sir. If you want to, yeah, I'd like to see you make the 9, but I want to see if you can draw back and make
Let's
that.
Suat try it.
Who thinks he can make it? Suat, I know you play a lot of good pool. You want to try to draw this back? Come on. Let's hear for Suat, but he's. Now, Suat, you sure you want to help on this? I don't want to force you into this. You sure you want to help?
What am I drawing back?
It's up to you. You do whatever you want to do to make the 9. So you sure you want to help? So take the cue. Now, just for a second, I have it back. I want to thank you for helping me. Thank you very much. Okay. There you go. So bad joke. Okay. Good. I'm gonna give you 10 tries. Okay. 10 tries on this. Attempt number. Whoops. That's a foul. Attempt number 1. All right. You can't move the 8.
I can't move.
No, there's a foul. You can't move.
He said do whatever you want. Just make the 9 ball. You can't
You did the. No, you're not allowed to make. I forgot to give you all the rules. You can't move the 8 ball. Okay. In the competitions, you were not allowed to move the 8 ball in a shot. I forgot to throw that in. Go ahead. Now, can you do it now without hitting the 8?
Or the 7? No.
You got to hit the 7. You got to make the 9. That's the request. Okay, go ahead. Take your time. Don't get in a hurry. Okay, you got to come back. You give up on it?
One try.
One more try, okay? Because we want to make sure we have a really strong player shooting this, because it looks easier where you're sitting. It's a simple draw shot, but it's not a simple draw shot. Okay, you're not trying to draw it. Oh, you're trying to go around.
I'm trying to draw it, but I quit.
Okay, well, give him a hand anyway. That was good. Now, so you had the right idea. It's not a draw shot, though. It looks like it's obvious to draw the ball, but there's a problem when you draw a ball. Everyone knows that if you take a coin and lay it on the table, and you hit this ball really easy, it's not going to do too much. It's just going to hit the coin, right? But if you accelerate your cue stick like this, basically it goes over the coin. Everybody knows a cue stick. A ball will skip when you hit it fast across the table. That's why you see lines on the table when they're playing 9 ball coming down toward the rack from the side. So anytime you hit it fast, it's going to skip. Every time you hit a ball, it skips. So as a result, when you hit this ball here, because it's, where is this in relation to the rail?
It's on the rail.
Well, no, it's not actually on the rail.
Oh.
Under it.
It's under it. Let me make sure we understand the points of a rail. Because if you were like going to go tell somebody when I leave, you go to your family, you say, hey, the guy had this shot on the rail. They're going to put it there. So this is under the rail. This is against the rail frozen. This is on the rail. This is over the rail. This is beside the rail. This is way under the rail. Okay, got it? Those are the parts of a rail. Now we can describe all the trick shots. Are you ready? By the way, what's your first name?
Jeff.
That's correct. Okay, here we go. Now, Jeff. Jeff, this is for you, okay? This is an awesome shot. The idea here is that because you're shooting down, it's naturally going to come up in the air, which it was doing so. You were hitting it good to jump, but I thought you knew the shot. You know, you were trying to come back around. The idea here is to jump. It comes out, hits the 7 without moving the 8 ball. It compresses out from behind the 8. That's frozen to the 8. It goes straight up in the air over the 8, 2 rails into the 9 ball. That's the obvious shot. Yeah, watch this. Watch this cue ball now. Come out of that corner up there. It's just a 3 cushion. By the way, Ernie Presto. Now, most of the 3 cushion players have heard of Ernie Presto. He was in Chicago. Years ago, he was playing billiards when he was 90 yet. And Ernie Presto did this on a carom table. He had the 3 balls without this, of course, and he shot this out of there. The cue ball went around and came up and hit the 8 ball, so he got his point. Well, we turned this into a pool shot for competition, and it became a great shot. It's still in our program. It's one of the greatest shots there is. You just got to put a little bit more spin on it to get it out of that cushion, that corner up there. So it's just like this. Now you got to come right around. You got to get it really good this time. And if you all want to get stuff eaten, come back. I'll still be shooting a shot. You're not going to miss a thing. It's going to go. Watch the cue ball. Awesome shot. You got to hit it really well. Nice smooth stroke. There it is. Isn't that pretty? That should come down here and should pretty well make that ball. Yeah. So you get the idea. That's a great shot. Listen, well, you know, some people want to actually see it go in. So hold on. We want to show you how to make the ball. not a good. Let me chalk up a couple times. I got it. That's for refills. I got it. I got to watch this shot now. This shot's really getting on my nerves right now. Okay. Mason, where's Mason? I got a question. Is this a left-handed table? Yes, I didn't know that. Sorry. I apologize. See, it's hard that when you play on so many tables, you forget that some are left-handed. So I'll go over here now. Boy, that's terrible not to know that. You think you'd know when the table's left-handed. I mean, look at this. Now it's pretty well dead because you're shooting from the other side of the table, see? You understand, sure. So watch this. Watch this amazing shot now. Watch this. Look at this. See this? Look at this. Is this beautiful? Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? See what happens when it's, see what happens when it's a left-handed table? Left-handed table, we'll count that, okay? Now, let's move on. Tougher stuff. I want to show you a couple really neat cues I've had over the years. One is how to draw a ball with the pencil stick. Now the number 2 lead pencil stick. Number 2 lead pencil. Check it out. Real eraser. Oh, no, it's a real eraser. Check it out. Yeah. Yeah, that's a real eraser. You know why they put that on it? So if you miss, you can erase it. Now we're going to go over here. Not a good joke. So here we go. We're going to illustrate how to draw a ball professionally. Number 1 is, when you draw a ball, you come back usually pretty slow. You kind of cock your wrist and you accelerate, right? Everybody knows that. You come back kind of slow and you accelerate, the ball goes back. It's not difficult to draw. But some people can't get that technique, so one of the ways you can make it if they're the same color, you kind of go like this and make it this way, so it's a lot easier. You know the idea now. So another technique you can use is if your arm gets tired, you can use this cue. This cue I've had for 30 years. I finally wore it out about 3 or 4 years ago. I had a machinist friend make it out of acrylic. Took the original components. This cue has the pinion 4 little blue guys, has the mouse button, Mighty Mouse, Minnie Mouse, spinach, Popeye injected. 2 DC batteries, NiCad Premium, lead-free rechargeable, rechargeable, submergible. It's got 20 speed settings, low, medium, high density, master blaster, double-sided hypotenuse. Pi injected with a CD-ROM and a built-over of Hemi. Now the key to this cue, you must take your cue and you must energize your cue stick because your arm is tired. So you simply engage your stick like that. You simply squeeze your trigger like this and toss it down. So you can kind of finesse. You can finesse. That's a finesse shot like that. Okay. You can do a reboot the program for the bank shot like this. Reboot the program and pretty much banks like that. You can do the 4 rail shot in the corner. You do the double reboot like this. Boom, boom, like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that, and the ball pretty much goes in the pocket. There's another shot over like that. That was pretty much in. Joe saw that. And one hand on a real freestyle, beat me down. Scotty did it awesome like that. This is an awesome cue. I mean, you know, you don't have to be worried about just pull the triggers, program, a chip in there. Okay. Next situation. I had the jump shots. Now, what Mason, they raised the lights so I can do all kinds of jumps to the ceiling. So we're gonna raise our cue, start doing some shots. But of course, these are narrower, so you can do mass ace, or it's not going to do any. You're not going to hit the light. So these are new lights. You see these lights, everybody? These are awesome. Yeah, they actually make things pretty on the table. They are, they're nice. So I'm going to show you some jump shots from ESPN days. Now, one of the original ways that we used to shoot, when you start out in 2002, there was a simple jump everybody had to do. They would take 6 stripes like this, put them on the table, or 6 whichever you want to call them. And they had a ball like this, and all you had to do in 2002 was to simply jump this over those. That was it. And nobody had seen this on TV. So you had to put your cue under your ear and then over your shoulder and just like the little short cue. And you went like this, and you just all the way like this, and you go like that, and the ball went in the pocket. That was the way everybody did that. But in the second year, the promoter didn't allow us to do that anymore because people would turn the dial if it was so simple. They want something hard. Everybody wants something hard, right? So he says, this year, you're going to have to use an aerial bridge where you move your cue like this and you can't use the table. And I said, well, I don't think so. Nobody plays like that. And he says, well, we'll get somebody else. And I said, I'll practice. So we did. So we went like this, and we hit it this way. And that was the second year. Now, in the third year, he was saying, well, you know, nobody wants to see that anymore because it's too easy and everybody's making the shot, and they'll turn the dial and go to something else. So he said, now we got to make it tougher. So in the third year, he says, you got to shoot one-handed. If you're right-handed, you got to throw your stick at it one-handed. And if you're left-handed, you got to throw a stick at it left-handed one hand just to give it a third. And I said, you got to be kidding me. Nobody plays that way. I'm not going to do that. He says, we'll get somebody else. Guess what I said? I'll practice. So I practiced. And I got to the point where I started to practice the one-handed shots. Now, almost everybody does the one-handed shots, so it looks something like that. Now, the next situation. The next would come in the fourth year, and I was just about frazzled after that. Because I had got paid my whole life for missing balls. All of a sudden, you got to make balls. But now, the fourth year, you got to shoot left-handed if you're right-handed, and right-handed if you're left-handed. Now, it's easy if you're playing in like this. You can use a bridge, but we can't use a bridge here. So can you imagine? Can you imagine? Go ahead, think about that. Go ahead. Now I'm telling you, the only, yeah, I mean, it's amazing. You'll go bananas. In fact, what you got to do is you got to be amphibious now. And I'm thinking to myself, to be amphibious, they're going to check your feet before you enter the competition, see if you got webs between the toes. So, it's just a joke. So here we go now. So here we go. I actually went through an airport one time and they checked the feet. Yeah, that was amazing. They did. Before you got on the plane, everybody takes your shoes off. I've been all over the world, and I'll tell you, some of that stuff is amazing. You know. But there were no amphibious people. So here we go now. So unhanded. Now I got to explain. Keep in mind, if you're right-handed and you've never done this, this is what it's going to look like for 2 weeks. You're going to do the same thing. I don't care who you are, because now if you're left-handed, it'd be easy, but then your right-handed would look like this. So being a teacher, I realized it's really not that difficult. First of all, I kept doing this and missing. So I said, well, now what is the key to jumping a ball? Number one, you must hit it. It must make a sound. So I started doing this. So I could get the sound in my brain, because it's in there, but I can't get it out because I'm doing this. So I started doing this, focusing on the sound. Pretty soon I got a louder sound. With a louder sound, I got the sound of a jump hit. Then all I had to do was get my body in position right. That was it. So I put my left foot forward, I put my right foot back, I turned around, did the hokey pokey, and I had it. Okay, that's a bad joke. Now here we go. Never did that one again. So here's what it kind of looks like. Let's see what happens today. It's an awesome shot, just like this. So that was right there. All right. Basic jumping, okay, with one-handed, two-handed, stuff like that. There were other things that came up where we had to do the masse shots. Now, one of the greatest masse shots in pool is where you raise your cue stick in the air. When you come down, you go through the table. It's a wonderful deal. Now, I got to tell you something. When I go down and I go through the table, one of the ways I never get a hole in the table is I never pull my cue out. I leave it in there. It's like Tom Thumb with his thumb, you know, his thumb in the dike. He never pulled it out. The water would come out. So if you leave your cue, if you're going to do a masse and you get it stuck in the table, do not pull it out, okay? Use 7 more cues, get them all stuck, and then you can play bumper cue later, okay? I got it. So I'm going to show you a couple shots that are awesome. Are you ready? Joe, write these jokes down, and you can explain it all later, okay? I know. Okay. So here you go. Let me ask you this. When you're playing 8-ball here at the Amazin Billiards, do you lose if you scratch on the 8? You mean if you make the 8 and scratch, you don't lose?
Yeah, you make the 8.
Yeah. Now, some leagues you actually lose if you don't make the 8. So let me explain. I have a new rule. I never lose an 8-ball when I scratch on the 8, whether I make it or don't make it. Let me make sure we have, but there's certain rules to it. Here's a shot. There was a guy years ago. His name was George Middleditch. Now, Danny Colatz. Do you remember George Middleditch? Is Danny here? He may not be here. George Middleditch was from Michigan, and his nickname was One More Time George. So every time he did his shots, he always did it one more time. Never, I don't think he ever made it. So he became famous as One More Time George. And this was his claim to fame, this shot, because he always did it one more time. But I'm going to actually show you how to make it. Okay, the idea of this shot, you're playing, they're frozen together, continue motion stroke shot, half masse, cue ball goes down the table with the 8-ball, and the rules of the competition are simple when you're playing 8-ball against me. If you make the 8-ball, see, most people scratch on by accident. I scratch on purpose. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the cue ball down the table with the 8. The cue ball is going to pass the 8-ball, go completely around it, go in the pocket, and the 8-ball is going to go in after the cue ball scratch. So the rule is you must go around it. You must scratch before it gets there in the same pocket. Got it? This is called the passing lane shot. Now Mike Massey calls this scratching with style. And I used to call it the Seabiscuit shot because this was Seabiscuit, and that's War Admiral, which was the horse in the final part of the movie. So anyway, this is a great shot. So, and of course, George Miller just calls it One More Time George shot. So enjoy it, everybody. Watch the cue ball go into the pocket around the 8-ball. Awesome shot. See it? Isn't that a great shot? Now, on occasion, you're going to have players leave you a ball blocked. This is a blocked pocket. So here you are for the World Interplanetary Championship. And your opponent has left you the unthinkable shot, which I don't know what it is because it's unthinkable. So here's your shot. Now imagine, in 1978, and prior to the league formations, you were never allowed to make the 8-ball off an opponent's ball. It had to be what they call a clean game. Everything had to be clean. 8-ball had to go on without touching an opposite ball. So back in those days, there was only 2 ways to make this shot. One is you use vibration English on the 8-ball. Have you ever heard of the vibration English shot? This is where the 8 ball goes down on the table. The 8 ball gets here and the 8 ball starts vibrating. Jumps right over the 5. It's amazing. Now I don't do it, but it's an amazing jump. And could you imagine playing 3 cushion and it looks like it's going to be a kiss and you get right to the ball jumps up in the air and you, yeah, it'd be great. So, that'd be a good trick. So here we go. The only way you can make this technically, legally, was to shoot the 8 down the table, cue ball passes the 8, makes the 5, clears the pocket, and the 8 ball goes in the empty pocket. Watch the cue ball. That's called gravity. Watch the cue ball go around this, make the 5, and clear the pocket, everybody. What an awesome shot. Watch this shot. Watch this. Look at this. Any questions? So now I made it. I put the pocket. So these are some basic concepts that are pretty normal in the game situation. Next one are, of course, the vertical masses, and this is actually a Diekman. You know, we lost Dennis, and Dennis used to donate masse cues to the artistic pool movement, the trick shot movement. And Dennis had a heart. He used to give stuff away for our movement and other movements, but these are some things I want to do, a couple masses to show you how nice some of these masse shots work. Now, we'll start out with some simple ones. Then we'll build up to the hard ones. The simplest masse is something like this, right? Very simple. You elevate your cue stick. You just go like this. You hit it kind of smooth like this. It comes around like that. That's a very simple concept. Everybody understands that. Another one, if you have a long distance masse like this, you lower your cue a little bit. You aim about 2 balls out, and you just kind of go through the ball like this. And the ball goes around like this. Okay, you understand? Another shot that's pretty basic is this one here, where you got a side pocket shot, where the cue ball looks like it's got no way to cut that in, which there isn't. This is called a yo-yo masse, a small yo, where the cue ball goes out like this. And comes back like this. Another one, and this is my favorite one I created, but they wouldn't let me use it in competition, where you make the 10 ball in the corner like this. It's an awesome shot. Just like this, it's an awesome shot. There's other shots that come up. Of course, now we've done the jokes. Now we're going to do some really tough ones. One of the most famous masse shots ever on a pool table was created by Mike Massey. And if you remember back to ESPN, they used to do the top 10 picks of the week. I don't know if they still do that or not. They still do the top 10 picks of the week. And Mike Massey got 2 shots in the top 10 picks of the week. One in 1 year, and he got the boot shot, which a lot of people know the boot shot. But he got this one. This is called the machine gun masse. It's a tremendous shot, one of the more dynamic shots. Everybody's doing it today. And it's just one of those shots that you just can't hardly help but like. So we're going to do this shot. We're going to put the 8 ball here by the side. And I want you to imagine your opponent has trapped you in here like this amongst all the balls. And it's a tremendous shot that has an audio version to it. So I'm going to do the audio version today, because a lot of times players do trick shots and they don't hear the audio version. They only look at the shot. So I want everybody to get subliminally into this. I want you to really feel the shot out. I want you to let your mind get into the shot. Don't hold back. Absorb the shot. In fact, before we start, we want everybody here to take a deep breath and absorb the masse through the breath. Okay, you all feel that? Okay, y'all got it? That's a masse breath you just took, okay? So we're going to now explain first the sounds of the shot, because it's one thing to see it, but you've got to actually hear it. You've got to get your whole sense. You've got to see it, you've got to feel it, you've got to smell it, you've got to taste it. People say, how do you do that? Well, if they were cooking popcorn, we'd all smell it. And Luther last year used to eat hot dogs and hamburgers when he played pool. He couldn't, that was his comfort zone. So people have to get all 5 senses into it. Those who are left brain senses, let me make sure we understand it. This is an 8 ball, right? We all know, we can see it, hear it, feel it, everything. If I put it away, what's an 8 ball look like? Black, black. Yeah, how do you know? It's not in front of you anymore. So where's that image? In the brain. So your brain has 5 senses that actually physically get in touch with it tangibly. Then you have 5 senses that exist because of a hard drive in the right brain. Now I've been teaching the mental game for 25 years. I have a new book released on that called The Student of the Game of Life. If anybody's interested in that, they're actually back on the table. If you're interested in that, we have our products with us, and it's wonderful to learn that stuff, because there's 3 types of games we should play. Most players only play 1 game. They play on the table. I play 2 games before the table. 1 game is the passion of the heart. Now, I'll be 70 in September, and I'm like a kid in the candy shop yet. I have such a passion for the game and a love of the game. If you can get the love of the game and the passion for it, you win, lose, you never lose. I haven't lost in 30 years because of that. See, nobody can beat me. Even if you beat me on paper and I win in my heart, it's a tie at the least. Think about that. Now, how much more joy we'd have in our game if we didn't have to focus on the paper. But that's what everybody wants to know. I understand. It's okay to win. But there's something better than winning. That's playing the game, because some people can't move. So that means playing's better. But loving is better than anything. So if you love this game like I love it, you'll never be the same in your billiard game or your pool game. Game in the heart, game of the heart, game in the mind, making good decisions, and then the game on the table. So here it is. Sounds of the balls first. Audio shot. Did, did. Chirping birds, you got to know that sound. Number 2, d, d. So we have did, we have d. So we have chords. We have did, got it? You got to hear this now. If you don't get this, it takes away some. It dilutes the joy. So you all got the sounds, right? Because we're going to have a test later on the sounds. Yeah, we're going to have a test later. So here it is now. So not just look at it. I want you to absorb the sound. It's going to go did, do. Now did, do is so fast you can't really hear it. So it converts. This is tricky. It converts did, to vid. You knew this, Joe. Joe, don't laugh, please. I don't. Okay. So this is, if I get Joe to laugh, I can anybody. Right, Joe? So it's did, do, or vid. Then it goes back to the right, the left brain. Now, just in case it's my show, sir. Now, security. Now, so here it is. Now watch this. This is so cool. I'm going to make sure you know the name of the shots when I leave. You'll be able to tell. The name of the shot is get her done. Okay, got it? If you need cable, then you learn. Here we go. Watch this. Watch this shot, everybody. Awesome shot. Watch this here. 8-ball disappear. Awesome. Okay, got it? Now, thank you. There's another shot that's actually a little bit more unique. It's the one where they used to send the space shuttles in, from Cape Canaveral, Admiral Cape Kennedy. And this was a shot called the Rocket Massey. Now, the Rocket Massey was one of our premier shots in competition, where you used to have a cue ball like this. And what do they call that thing on a rocket ship? It's sitting on the platform. There's a thing next to it. What do they call that thing? Anybody know? The gantry. Who said gantry?
Wasn't me.
That's amazing. Nobody knows that word. It's gantry. You get an A for this class. Thank you. You're welcome. So that's called a gantry. This is the gantry. This is the spaceship. Now I'm going to hit this down with rocket science. I mean with rocket speed. The cue ball, the spaceship is going to make, the gantry is going to fall off. Gantry, the spaceship is going to take off at this page, drop stage 1, accelerate. Drop stage 2 and accelerate. Go into orbit, make the 8 at the moon, and make the 9 ball to watch Curiosity at Mars. Everybody got it? You should all remember these things because they've been in the news for a long time, okay? So here we go. Enjoy this now. This is an amazing shot called the Amazing Shot at the Amazin Billiards. With Amazin. Okay, you ready? Enjoy it now. What a shot this is. I like to pull this one off the first time. Watch this shot. Or the second time. Or even the third time. In fact, I'd just like to make it once in my life. That would be fun. So here we go. Watch this. That's great. Watch this. You ready? Watch this shot up. Awesome. Watch this shot. Pretty close. How's it look? There are other shots that are a lot more difficult, but I don't do those. So let's move on to the next shot. No, I'm going to do another one. You all want to see. I mean, I'm hitting everybody. I can't believe it. Amazing. What's wrong with this table? Never make all these shots. You got to be kidding me. I'm telling you what, they're going in today. Yes, nothing, not like my billiard game. Okay, here we go now. Certainly forget that. Here we go. So here we go. We're going to do a couple of, well, maybe one more, then we'll get into some really razzle-dazzle stuff because players want to relax. These are the high-degree skill shots. You all know these. This was the one that came up. It's called the shot that came up shot. Yeah. The cue ball, you hear me laughing, I won't be able to finish this, okay? So here it is. When you laugh at your own jokes, you really know you got something going, okay? So here it is. A cue ball used to go up like this, and go over like that, and back like that, but that's not how we do this shot. This goes up like this, goes over like this, goes out like this, and goes back like that. So the cue ball, the name of this is the up like this, over like this, out like this, and back like that shot. That's the official name of the shot. So it's called a reverse masse with a simple 7-ball version. Just like this. Watch this shot. Awesome shot, yes. This is awesome. Oh, sorry, these should be turned around. I apologize. You know, it's hard to remember where these balls go. You have 2,000 shots, which now has been, there's been over 2,000 created. That 5-ball always must be away from you. Most people don't know that. Well, there are some shots you have to know where they go. Because you're not going to, like the left-handed table. If you don't know that, you're going to be shooting the rest of your life from the wrong side of the table. You're going to miss it. You're going to say, what's wrong? Well, I can't help that. So here we go. So here we go. Watch, I just turned it. I turned 5. Watch. See there? Okay, let's fix that. Okay. Yeah, that's close enough. Good. One last time. If it doesn't go in, you have to use your imagination. Okay, here we go. Watch this shot. Awesome shot. There it is. That's a stupid shot anyway. Okay, now we're not gonna. Let's just try a really tough. Let's go. You know what it is? It's too easy. Let's go to the biggest one I know. Now this, I'm gonna try this. There's no guarantee on this one like the last one. This shot is amazing. I'm gonna try a 14 ball up on the back shot. You gotta enjoy this one. Watch this one, everybody. 14 balls up like this. 14 balls. Watch this one. This is an amazing shot. All the way up and all the way back around these balls. Now they wouldn't do this in competition only because it's got to be an 80% shot for the TV fans. But I think I can make this shot for you today. Watch this. Table's playing really good. Watch this cue ball go way up and way back. Awesome shot. Now it's hitting that rail first. Watch this. I'll make this shot. I can feel it. I think you can all feel it. Oh, delay.
Oh, if you didn't move the ball, that was going.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I needed that help. You know, I was hitting the shot one time and I kept hitting it like easy. Guy says, you know, if you hit it harder, it would help. I got it. You just hang in there, buddy, because I'm going to tell you, you got a prime seat. Watch this. I got it. Watch this. Last time. Whoops. Isn't that a beautiful sound? A lot of people don't realize the joy of that sound. In fact, if you're doing that, you probably should be doing something else. I got it. Last attempt. Watch this. So that's a tough one. Now let's move on to something a little bit more relaxing. For those that get nervous when you play the game, I want to show you something kind of about different types of shooting styles. Now, when I was growing up, there was a guy named Jimmy Karras. He used to do all kinds of things internationally. One of my favorite all-time shooting styles was this one. He used to play 9-ball with this situation. Imagine playing 9-ball, and this was Jimmy's probably claim to fame. He was, by the way, the other night, Jimmy Karras was playing Mosconi in the 3rd World Championship. It was on YouTube. It was amazing. And Jimmy and him are playing. You know, Mosconi had won one, and Karras beat him, and now they're playing this match. And I didn't see the whole thing, but man, it was awesome. And they were actually not making all the balls. They were missing one, which is kind of. This was a shot that Karras made famous. He used to do all kinds of novelty things. I used to love watching the novelty stuff. So you have shots like this, and he's playing 9-ball, and the cue ball's trapped on the rail like this. So they use what they call chopsticks. So they take control of the cue ball like this. It was a kind of international Chinese or Japanese ball. They'd walk into position, and the shots would be straight in, and then you get instant draw on the cue ball every time like this, okay? Cut shots were never a problem like this. You never needed a bridge over the obstruction, shoot like this. The cue ball would come back like this. Get a running start and simply bank the last ball like this. It goes over like this. It comes over here. It comes up your stick like this. And then watch closely. This is what it looks like. It's called roller coaster cues. Watch closely. Both sides you see it. Whoops, that's called gravity. Hold on. Let me go to this end so we can see it. Let me make sure you can see this real good. Watch this. This is awesome. Isn't that awesome? That should come over. I'm going to do it like 3 or 4 times. I can't believe it. That's not that difficult if you make it. What's wrong with that ball? That ball. You can't believe it. If you don't use the right ball, you can pretty much forget it. Watch this. See the difference? You got to use the right ball. It's amazing. Look at this. I have no idea how to stop this. Get over the pocket, drop it in like that. Okay, you got it. Now, next, one more thing. One more thing. If you go to Australia, you're liable to have to play the way they play in Australia. It's called down under pool. You got to get yourself a couple of these spring clips out of spring steel. Put them on your cue sticks, and you do a thing called down under pool. Great technique for 9-ball players. You put the 9 down under the cue ball. You shoot the shot. You don't like it, stop it, bring it back. Wrong English, bring it back. Wrong speed, bring it back. Wrong angle, bring it back. The ball goes out in Australia, it comes back. It goes out, back, out, back, out, back in Australia. Then you pivot and you do a different joke. Pivot and you go like that, make the ball over there, it goes over there, it goes up to that end of the table, and you call safety. Next shot, okay? Get a rail. Let's do that one more time. Let's try it. You got to aim with the sticks. Just aim your stick, aim it right at the pocket like this. There it is, like that. Next, okay, next. Next situation, you're playing in a little country next to Australia. That country is called New Zealand, that's right. New Zealand. New Zealand goes out and New Zealand comes back. Australia playing New Zealand. New Zealand upper bracket, Australia lower bracket. Australia upper bracket, New Zealand lower bracket. Then, of course, from the state of Texas. Texas, okay? Yep, Texas goes out and Texas comes back. Australia playing Texas. Australia upper bracket, Texas lower bracket. Texas upper bracket, Australia lower bracket. New Zealand playing Texas. Plenty of room to move around the upper bracket. Texas crushing New Zealand. Texas crushing New Zealand, just like that. 3 balls at the same time. This is really awesome. Perfect. Next. Snowman in Australia. Orange, coconut, and banana. Orange, coconut, banana. This is a tropical Sunday snowman. Watch this. Bring the orange back with the coconut. Bring that back and go like this. Now you have a tropical Sunday snowman. Orange, coconut, and banana right there. All right. You also have a snowman in Antarctica. That used to be really funny. Okay, now, let's move on to a couple of final things. If you're like, I don't have a lot of time. My show normally lasts 3 days. So what we're going to do, we're going to show you very quickly a couple really beautiful shots that you can practice at home. More here. Amazin doesn't mind. One of my favorite all-time shots was this one. Now, when I used to play a lot, my opponent would walk away sometimes because they wouldn't shoot for 3 days, you know? And they were just watching. They weren't playing. So what would happen is they had a shot like this that would come up, and I wanted to keep them in the game, so I used to take it like this, swirl my stick 3 times to let my opponent know I can make their 13 ball, and I would shoot it like this, and the ball would go like that. So it was awesome. Now, another shot that would happen. Does anybody have any questions so far? Any questions so far? Everybody understands this, right?
Yes.
You know, because if you use that, you can get away with about anything. You ever been to a game of a rail top? There's a shot. That's fun. Oh, I got all kinds of toys. Let me show you some of my toys. Here's a toy. Watch it. Look at this shot. You're playing 8-ball World Championship. Everybody shoots in the corner. Wrong shot. Play the closest pocket. Twist your wrist, bring your knee up. That's called the helix curve English shot. Just like that. Watch this. 8 inside. Just go like this. Just pop right in there. Okay, good. Okay, good. That works great if you use this ball right here. It works every time. Now the next shot. Okay, next. There's another one. Who said you couldn't have fun at pool? Here's another one. Now you're playing. We got a bottle ball. We got an egg that's over.